Hello everyone, Sam here to make another video about the Guardians of the United States, and today we have the Guardian of Pennsylvania. Now, who is the Guardian of Pennsylvania? What's he all about? Who is he? How does he operate? Well, we're gonna begin to that, but first, I gotta warn you first, do not watch this video if you're under the age of 18, as this video may talk about some pretty sensitive topics that may not be suitable for kids, alright? So let me repeat that again. Do not watch this video if you're starting the age of 18, as this video may talk about some pretty sensitive topics that may not be suitable for kids, right? So I'm just telling you right now, you have been warned. So let's get into this right here. The Guardian of Pennsylvania. Now, who is the Guardian of Pennsylvania? Who is this character, and how does he operate? Well, we're gonna begin to that. And this character's backstory and all. The Guardian of Pennsylvania, or AKA the Ventriloquist. All right, so I'm gonna be transferring here. Ready? In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. As you can see right here, Wallace E. McCarthy, the Guardian of Pennsylvania, or aka the Ventriloquist. Now, as you can see, who is this character? Why is he all puppeteered like that? Why does he have strings on him? Well, let's get into that and all right here. Let's get into this. This young man is Wallace E. McCarthy, who is the Guardian of Pennsylvania, who is a quiet but crafty young man, who goes by the alias the Ventriloquist, and is one of the heads of the movement nicknamed the Red Strike Movement, as he is one of the main puppeteers. Wait, hold on. As he is one of the main puppeteers of the movement, oftentimes orchestrating many events throughout his state, and is a very mysterious figure, as not a lot of people don't even know what his actual face looks like, as he hides in the shadows, and wears a creepy mask to shield his true identity from the public. However, what people don't know is he is a mutant who has a secret connection to the Red Man. Ooh, spooky. Alright, now this is this character's backstory, so let's get into it and all. Let's do this! You see, Wallace E. McCarthy had a horrible backstory, and was born in the year of March 31st, 1997, and was born in the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and his mother's name is Penelope McCarthy, and his father's name is Ethan McCarthy, and both his parents worked at a clothing company, and would work to have a great income. And now back to Wallace E. McCarthy. And Wallace McCarthy had a horrible childhood, as he was born with a skin condition, which being albinoism. So basically, he was born an albino, and due to this, his parents were disgusted by their own son, and treated him poorly. And the kids at school weren't any better, as many kids bullied him almost every day, due to him having albino white skin. So Wallace never really had any friends, and was always an only child. However, there was one person who actually cared about him, and that being the family maid named Sarah May, who ended up treating him with love, care, and especially kindness. Matter of fact, she was there to raise him since his entire childhood, as Wallace's parents were always working all the time, so Sarah had to step in. Now, when Wallace McCarthy was a kid, the maid, Sarah Maid, would put on a colorful puppet show, and Wallace loved this as a kid, especially when he used his imagination and would imagine going on crazy and wild adventures with his puppet friends. However, what Wallace didn't realize that this would be the moment that would predict what his life will be in the near future. Ooh, spooky. Now, as Wallace got older, he started to get taller, which made the kids at school more likely to bully him more. I mean, hell, some of the kids at school gave him the nickname the Albino Abomination, and the bullying got so bad that his maid, Sarah Maid, had to pull him out of school, and Wallace was forced to drop out. Sorry. Let's do this. Now, several days after he dropped out of school, Wallace was very depressed. Wallace was very depressed for dropping out of school, but his maid, Sarah Maid, would come and cheer him up, and told Wallace to follow her, and took him to the basement to teach him carpentry and to build puppets that did entertain him as a kid. And for several years, Wallace and his Wallace and his maid would spend time building puppets together, and his maid would teach him how to be a ventriloquist. And during this time, Wallace would bond with her, and this would be some of the best memories in his life. However, sadly, tragedy would strike in the year of August 27th, 2020, as Wallace wakes up this day and gets out of bed and gets ready for the day. However, as Wallace exits his room, he notices the basement door is wide open and feels something strange and goes to investigate. And as Wallace is walking down the basement steps, he gets a strange feeling in his system, like something bad is about to happen. And in which, right as he gets to the bottom of the basement steps, he turns his head to see something truly disturbing, in which he sees his parents and his maid, Sarah Maid, dead with puppet strings infused into their flesh, with strange symbols carved into their bodies. And this absolutely horrified Wallace all the way to his core, as he starts as he starts to freak out, not knowing what to do next. But just then, the entity known as the Follower would appear. A follower appears and gifted Wallace his mutant power, and Wallace E. McCarthy makes a promise to one day find the truth of his family's death and connect the dots that will lead to him discovering the truth of who actually killed his entire family. So that is the story. That is the backstory of Wallace E. McCarthy. This character right here. Alright? Now let me guys know in the comment section below. Let me guys know in the comment section below what you guys think about this story. What do you think about this character? Who do you think killed his entire family? Let me know in the comment section below. Now next, we're going to be transferring again here in a couple seconds. And we're going to be doing that in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Alright, here's some more things about Wallace E. McCarthy. Born in 1997, age 30, height 6.7, weight 72.122, race Caucasian. Nicknames: nicknamed the Ventriloquist, or nicknamed the man who controls everything from the shadows, or nicknamed the one who puppeteers. Personality: this young man is an odd type of guy who is the guardian of Pennsylvania, who goes by the alias the Ventriloquist. When you first see him, he is strange and a bit awkward, and has a cold but creepy expression on his face, and has a presence that makes people feel creeped out. But he is a master manipulator, as he is really great at controlling things from beyond the scenes, and is an excellent organizer who knows how to organize people and movements. However, he has a weakness. He has weaknesses. For example, he is too controlling, constantly thinking he knows what's best for people. And his second weakness, he suffers from paranoia, as he thinks there's someone with a higher authority is puppeteering him. However, he might have his weaknesses, but he's not a bad person. He just has his faults, but he has a good heart, who has a dream to one day find the truth of his family's death and connect the dots that will lead to him discovering the truth of who actually killed his entire family. Alright, so that's some more things about Wallace E. McCarthy. Do you like this character? Do you like his personality? That he's someone who's always trying to get in control of things? He's like a puppeteer. He's always trying to control people. Do you like his weaknesses, and do you like his dreams? Let me guys know in the comment section below. Now next, we're going to be transferring again, and we're going to learn some more things about Wallace E. McCarthy in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Here's his description. He wears a long sleeve shirt and wears a fancy black button-up vest, and wears a dark red bow tie, and wears black short shorts, and wears purple suspenders over his vest, and wears purple shining tap shoes, and wears dark blue painted circles around his face cheeks, around his eyes, and wears black lipstick, and wears a dark blue top hat with a flower in the middle, and wears a big white cartoonish gloves, and wears blue striped long socks, and he has a skinny body, and has a skinny waist, and has a white pale body, and has light green eyes, and he has dark blue painted fingernails, and his body is floating in the air, and his body is floating in the air, and has a puppet-like strings attached to some parts of his body. All right. That's what he is. All right. He's like a puppet. It's almost like he's being puppeteered in the air. All right. However, this is his mutant power. So let's get to his mutant power. His mutant power is called spiritual strings, and this power gives him several abilities. And one of those abilities is called string manipulation. He can control these strings. He can attach these strings to anything or anyone, and he can levitate through the air and can hide inside a small pocket dimension as his puppet takes his place. And his ultimate move is this: he can summon puppet-like strings from the sky that's able to come down and attach and control every single life form in a near city-wide radius. That is how powerful this guy is. The ventriloquist, alright? Let me guys know in the comment section below, what do you guys think about this guy's power? Do you like his power? Would you have his power in real life? Now next we're going to be transferring again. We're going to be talking about the Red Strike movement in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. The Red Strike Movement, or aka the RSM, or aka the Red Strike Movement. Now what is the Red Strike Movement? So let's get into this. What is this movement? As in right here, founded December 31st, 2023. This is the RSM, or aka the Red Strike Movement. A movement founded by a mysterious but influential figure who goes by the alias the Red Man. And this mysterious figure founded this movement for one reason and one reason only. The RSM, or aka the Red Strike Movement's whole goal is to expose and strike down the false reality of the Matrix, of the Matrix, and reveal the real truth of the world, of who actually controls the world and pulls its strings. Now, this group first made its first appearance on many dark social media platforms that quickly spread and grew throughout the entire internet until eventually it entered the mainstream, in which this quickly changed the American political landscape forever. Alright, so that is what the Red Strike Movement is. They're a very mysterious group that's well known. Many people have accused this group of being a terrorist group, as many members of this group are pretty extreme with their ideas and beliefs, as they claim to know the real truth of who actually controls this world. Alright, in the gardens of the United States. Now, I'm going to let you guys theorize what that could be. Who do you think they're talking about? The dark matrix of this world. Alright, let me guys know in the comment section below. Would you follow this movement? This is a pretty mysterious movement. It's a pretty radical movement. Alright? Alright, let me guys know in the comment section below what you guys think about this movement. Matter of fact, this is the symbol of this movement right here, which is a door being opened up by these tendrils right here. Alright, let me guys know in the comment section below what you guys think about it. Now, next we're going to be transferring again in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. What is this? Well, this is the BMI, or the Bloody Month Incident. Now, I'm sorry for that awkward transfer deal I just did. Alright, sorry for that. But this is the Bloody Month Incidents. Alright, now what is the Bloody Month Incidents, or the BMI? Well, let's find out together. The Bloody Month the BMI, or aka the Bloody Month incidents, were a couple of incidents that occurred the entire month of February of 2024. And what was the BMI? Well, let's find out. The Bloody Month incidents were a couple of incidents that involved many members of the RSM, or aka the Red Strike Movement, completely hijacking and taking over many TV stations and broadcasts all across 3 different U.S. states, such as Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Rhode Island, in which this group would commit many psychological attacks on the TV airwaves, in which this did have a negative influence on the American public, especially towards the youth who are in their early 20s and late teens. So basically, the group known as the Red Strike Movement, many extreme members of the movement managed to hijack many TV stations and many broadcast systems to try to get their truth and their message out. All right, as you can tell, this did cause a bit of controversy with many people, with many members being arrested. However, their message is still being heard by many people in their youth and their early 20s. Alright, many of them being influenced by this radical movement, this very dangerous radical movement. Alright, so let me guys know what you guys think about the Bloody Months incidents. As next, we're going to be talking about what does the character of the Guard of Pennsylvania really represent. Alright, so let's get into that, and I'm going to be transferring again in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. As you can see right here, Wallace E. McCarthy. Now, what does this character represent? Well, he represents three things: control, obedience, and tameness. As he's someone who's always wanted to be in control of things. He's someone who's all about puppeteering things from the shadows. Alright, he's someone who always wants to be in control and always wants to, get in, he always wants obedience. He wants his movement, members of his movement, to be obedience. As he's someone who's all about trying to find out the truth of the world. Trying to strike down this false reality, this false matrix. He's someone who represents someone who takes his beliefs way too far. Alright? As he represents those three things: control, obedience, and tameness. So let me guys know in the comment section below what you guys think about this character and all. He's someone who is basically a very dangerous man and all. Alright? So let me guys know in the comment section below. I'm going to be transferring again in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Alright guys, don't forget to like and share, comment, subscribe to the video. Don't forget to follow me on my Twitter account at OnCinema899. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm going to be making more videos about the Guardians of the United States. About more videos about the Guardians of the United States and all. And also, let me guys know, what do you guys think about this character? Do you like this character? Do you like how mysterious he is and how he's all about controlling things in the shadows? As he's someone who's basically takes his beliefs way too far. Someone who's basically like an extremist. Alright, he's like kind of like someone who's all about trying to get in control of things. Let me guys know what you guys think about this and the Red Strike movement and the Bloody Month incidents. What do you guys think about those? And also, this character is also in the public domain as well. So you guys are allowed to do whatever you want with these characters right here, especially with the Red Strike movement and all that. All right. So don't forget to like and share, comment, subscribe to the video, and have a wonderful day. And as I've been saying, may God bless.